Air way too early for the fake. This that real game for real bros. No decaf, no cap. Welcome to Shogun Bros, no decaf. Live every weekday, 6:30 in the morning, Central Time. Did you hear what I said? Central Time. We talk dogs, bloodline building to yard work, from stud talk to the truth behind the pups. This ain't no highlight reel. It's how you really build legacy. Shogun Bros, no decaf. Pull up, pull up, handle yours. This ain't just content, it's culture. Welcome to the cookout with Toyo, where family vibes meet front porch truth. No scripts, no filters, just heart, heat, and hot plates. Ooh. Step up with elevated perspective, with elevated game for grown men and women building mind, spirit, and vision. And men at work with pimps over simps. Choice. Real convos, no cap, all purpose for the men behind the mission. 3 shows, 1 network, all gas, no decaf. Put no creamer in my man. Look, Shogun Unlimited, man. Press play and get man. Come on, press play, press play.
Yes, sir. We in here. It's elevated perspective. We're gonna do a little bit of a longer cook up today. Got a couple people gonna drop in. Uh, we're gonna talk about variety of types in the American Pit Bull Terrier. The different types. A little bit of why there is different types. A little bit of where it originates. We're just gonna kind of break that down because me as a young man, that was an interest I had early on. I noticed the difference, and it always interested me why it exists, the purpose of it. A breeder's hand, some breeders intentionally done it, some breeders didn't intentionally do it. It's just a very interesting topic. That can go a lot of ways, and other people might have some input on it. If you'd like to put some input on it, you're welcome to come in, speak on the subject. Let's see here. Yep, so. Variety and types. The American Pit Bull Terrier has roots in a mix of Bulldog, Terrier, and Hound influences, each contributing distinct traits to the breed's versatility and working ability. The APBT inherits strength, determination, and muscular build from Bulldog ancestry. Early Bulldogs were bred for bull baiting and later refined for tenacity and endurance, traits that remain in the APBT today. Yep. Terrier influence. The Terrier contributes agility, intelligence, and drive. Terriers were originally bred for hunting vermin, making them quick, energetic, and highly responsive to training. Hound influence. While less emphasized, some APBTs show hound-like traits such as enhanced scent tracking ability and endurance. This influence is seen in certain bloodlines that prioritize hunting and field work. These combined influences make the APBT a versatile working dog, excelling in activities like weight pulling, protection work, and even search and rescue. The American Pit Bull Terrier has developed distinct bloodlines and varieties due to selective breeding for different traits. While they're all part of the same breed, variations exist based on lineage, purpose, regional breeding preferences. Regional breeding preferences, that's what we're going to break down right now. So different men in different areas of the world have different goals. Their environment affects them goals. So depending on the terrain, what they're hunting, how long they're going to be running when they hunt, these are all factors in like the way that a lot of men's dogs are built. Like in my area, the hounds are usually smaller. They're not super big, but they're athletic, so that they can weave through trees, be real fast enough, but they're lower because the lower ones, they can move faster through the woods here than the taller ones. They can whip under barbed wire fences, any of that stuff. So the preference is usually in my area tree and walker coonhound for coon hunt, and then the plot hound for bear hunting. Working behind each breed, there's a difference, and I've ran coons behind blue ticks, red bones, walkers, plot hounds, black and tans. What's the one? I can't remember. The pointers. I'm not a fan of them so much, but we wasn't. They weren't really for what we were doing with them. So, there's a difference. Like when you're running behind them, you can tell they bark different. Their instinct when they bark is different. Because a lot of people don't know when you let a hound dog loose, a lot of them will give you a signal whenever they see their prey. They'll have a certain bark for whenever they see it. Then they have what's called a hammer tree, where they'll hammer tree it whenever they got it treed. So there's a different vocal to what they're doing. They have almost like vocal to tell you what's going on. I like a dog that as soon as he sees what he's going after, he alerts, lets you know he's on it, and then 600 to 800 yards, he's got it treed for the most part. That's what from my experience, that is what I've dealt with here in my area. So in other areas, like out in like Texas or something, they might have a lot taller, more rangy dogs, so that like when they're cruising on them buggies, they can set them out and they can run coyotes, they can run hogs. I don't really know. I'm not 100% sure on that. But it just makes more sense because they would want them where it's big, long, and flat. They could set them out and they would get it on that flat land. Versus here, they couldn't even make it between most of the trees. So, because we have real dense woods. Trees are usually 2 to 3 foot apart, and most of the time they're even smaller than that. So, and they'd grow in clusters sometimes. So they'll grow 2 trees growing up kind of together, and it'll be like a 8-inch or a foot gap. I've seen dogs literally red bones get their heads stuck between trees, and we had to go. They stopped for some reason. They were raising cane, and we had to go and literally help them pull their collar out from between the trees. So, so I'm going to break down a few bloodlines of the American Pit Bull Terrier. Colby Pit Bulls, one of the oldest APVT bloodlines developed by John P. Colby in the late 19th century, known for their muscular build, high endurance, and strong gameness. The Jeep bloodline, bred for tenacity and drive, these pit bulls are famous for their stamina and deep-chested structure. Alligator bloodlines, originally linked to Plummer's alligator, these pit bulls were bred for physical resilience and strong bite force. Chinaman bloodline. Key traits of the Chinaman bloodline are high athleticism, intensity. The family, known for gameness, durability, and strong drive. So there's just a few of the most common bloodlines that we use and breed and have in our dogs today that we as preservationists try to keep around in the purest form. That's still what they're supposed to be. I'm not trying to make nothing new. I would rather make something from 1900 than make something new. That would tell me I'm doing something right, bringing back old genes like that, getting old dogs to pop back out again. That is my interest in the dogs. My blood throws a lot of old looking dogs anyway, like old school looking dogs anyways. So I've kind of like, I don't want to lose that. I want to keep it around. I don't want to get to where I only have one color that pops out all the time. That's not consistency to me necessarily. That is a form of consistency, but it's not consistency to me that's like a less of a consistency and variety as far as looks than the way they act. So, red-nosed pit bulls. Not a separate breed, but rather a variation based on pigmentation. These variants exist due to selective breeding for traits like color, temperament, working ability, and appearance. Some lines focus on athleticism and drive, while others emphasize a more companion-friendly nature. Each of these types has distinct traits shaped by their original purposes. Yeah, so any of them traits are based, like, it's where the man is at. You can't hear me at all? Can you hear me, Big A?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I don't know
Could you
what
hear
happened.
me? Could you hear me
Yeah,
while I was reading?
nah. I don't know when you went out. Yeah, yeah.
Why is it doing that?
I don't know. I'm trying to fix it now.
That's
It's been
interesting.
acting. Yeah. Yo, there go Dre. Yeah. All right. They hear you now. Yeah.
So tell me, can you hear me when I pull this up? Can you hear me?
I hear you. I hear you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was just making sure it's not when I pull up my notes.
Okay. Yeah.
So hounds. These dogs are bred for hunting, relying on either sight or scent to track prey. Sight hounds, like greyhounds, are built for speed with lean bodies and lean eyesight, while scent hounds, like bloodhounds, have powerful noses and strong endurance for long tracking sessions. So when in these bloodlines of pit bull terriers, some of these bloodline traits, I've had dogs that just displayed more of that, like 80 Bay registered pit bull terriers that displayed 100%. I've ran behind enough hounds to know the difference. You know what I mean? They're like, the way they act and everything, they act like a hound. You know what I mean? There ain't nothing wrong with that. I love hound dogs. I'm just pointing out the what I've seen. So, I love hound dogs, like walkers and plots. They're cool. I'm actually gonna go to Plot Fest this fall, and I'm gonna video everything, and I'm gonna put a video of it on my YouTube. It's for just specifically plot hounds. Hit the like button. Don't be a peeping Tom. He said. Oh, we was talking about red nose. Okay. So I just bring that up because that's a variation of our breed that people don't even think of as a variation. Like it back in the day, it wasn't common. It became a thing. The more that we bred them, the more that the bloodlines were crossed and passed around, it became a thing. So bulldogs. Bulldogs originally bred for bull baiting. Bulldogs have evolved into loyal, tenacious companions. They are stocky, muscular, and known for their broad heads and strong jaws. Despite their tough appearance, they are often affectionate, and great family pets. Yeah, when I was younger, so I owned an English bulldog, like a real deal, like still working class. I skateboarded with her and all that stuff. Uh, it was around the time of Robin Big when he had Meaty and Beefy. I don't know if you watch that show a lot. I mean, pretty much everybody did, but it was around when he
Nah.
had Meaty and Beefy, and
Mhm.
they were two English bulldogs. And shit, I was like 12 years old, and I was like, that's what I want, because Beefy skateboarded, like he could, Rob could roll the board out, and Beefy
Mhm.
would jump on it and ride it forever. So I
Yeah.
always thought that was just the coolest shit to me as a kid. Seeing that dog, like, we were right at the beginning of the internet, so I hadn't really never seen any other dogs that did that. So I was like,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's really cool. And I've still to this day never seen a game bred pit bull terrier do it. Ride the skateboard. Now I know there's that blue dog on Facebook that rides the what's that one wheel board called with the wheel in the middle, the big kind of knobby tire, and then you stand with your feet on each side of the wheel and ride it. I
Uh,
don't know what it's called, but it's got a wheel in the center and two platforms where you stand your feet on each side of the wheel,
right.
like front and back, so you can lean it forward and go. And there's a blue dog on the internet that rides one of those around all the time. It's actually pretty
Yeah.
cool to see. But but yeah, so like that's kind of like I've owned the English bulldog. Really cool to see. Like I do see some of the similarities that she had in my dogs, even still to this day.
Yeah.
Terriers. These feisty, energetic dogs were bred for hunting vermin and digging into burrows. They are compact, strong willed, and highly driven with an instinct to chase, dig, and protect their territory. Breeds like the American Pit Bull Terrier embody strength and determination. So it comes there. The Pit Bull Terrier takes that determination from the Terrier and the Bulldog. Like it, that's a trait that they both possessed that was passed on to the offspring.
Yeah.
So the working American Pit Bull Terrier and the show American Pit Bull Terrier differ in purpose, breeding priorities, and physical traits. A working APBT, bred for performance, including weight pulling, protection, sports, hunting, and other high drive activities. Traits: high energy, strong prey drive, intense focus, and exceptional endurance. Structure: leaner, more athletic build with a functional muscle mass. Temperament: physically more driven and determined with a strong work ethic. Breeding focus: gameness, stamina, and ability to perform tasks rather than appearance. The show APBT, bred for conformation shows where dogs are judged based on adherence to breed standards. Traits: balanced proportions, symmetrical features, and a polished appearance. Structure: I'm gonna add one more to traits that I didn't even put in there. Um, Socialization skills and willingness to be around other dogs, you know what I mean, without acting out. That's one trait of the show dog, you know what I mean? They'll just stand there and stack and act right for the lady that's walking it, from the show, that type of show that I've seen. So structure, often stockier with a more exaggerated muscle build. Temperament, generally calmer and more suited for companionship. Breeding focuses: aesthetic qualities like head shape, coat color, and overall symmetry, and health. They're very picky about the show APBTs. They are all health tested, passed down for multiple generations, being health tested. So I will add that in. While both types share the same origins, their breeding priorities have led to distinct differences in physical and behavioral traits. Some breeders aim to maintain a balance between both worlds, producing dogs that excel in work while still meeting show standards. And yeah, I mean that's kind of the point where I'm at. Like I want to be able to take them to shows and win and all that, but they still have to be able to be a pit bull terrier. You know what I mean? They still have to have everything it takes to be a pit bull terrier. And through life and raising dogs and having a yard full of dogs, you see that about out of the ones that are good. You know, like the ones that are really good, they'll show you something that lets you know that they're still got that in them. Uh, my buddy Dalton's dog, he's he's Mason's age, maybe about 6 months older than Mason, so he's probably about 11 and a half, 10 and a half, somewhere in there. Uh, and the other day, his mom let him out, thinking he's an old dog. He walks around like an old man in the house. He ran out and snatched up a little young dog, and they separated him pretty quick. But like he still is like that, even at old age. He's never lost that. He's he's had probably more altercations than any dog I know of. But it's literally just bad luck with him. It's never not even really. It's just bad luck. Them wrong place at the wrong time for some reason. And I ain't gonna lie, she ain't learned from it yet. But I mean, sometimes they don't lose that about him. Like Mason, I've not noticed a decrease in his willingness to do anything. It's just because he's an old age. What's up, Welsh? But I don't
Ain't
know. What
too much. Ain't too much, man. Listening in.
what you think about that? The three types.
I mean, that's pretty. I mean, it's pretty much accurate if you
Yeah.
go back into history of where it started. and where it still is, that still kind of exists today. So one, two,
Yep. Yeah, I believe so. Like one thing I hear that ain't talked about a whole lot is the hound influence in them, and I don't really understand why. Because of out of the two breeds, the bull and the terrier, you know what I'm saying? The hound is the one that's still working on a high successful level to this day, and like almost pit bull terrier owners won't even own up to the hound that's in the breed.
I mean,
Mason's 10, about 10. Let's see. So he's 10 years old and 5 months. He turns 11 December 18th.
but I mean, as far as certain things with the American Pit Bull Terrier, you gotta remember elevated. As you also heard certain times, it's a lot of people with these dogs really don't know the history of what they have in their backyard, and then the other half is just they they just in denial of some of the things that they hear, but they see it, but they still in denial of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. I've
That's
seen
just
that.
pretty much that.
There's some guys that acted like I was stupid when I mentioned the hound influence, and I'm like, bro, you can't lie to me. It's absolutely in there. I can look at these dogs. I know dogs that people paid $2,000 for that look like they come off of my buddy up the road's blackmouth cur. And I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, like, don't deny why it's still a beast. A blackmouth cur is a beast. Like, if they'll
I
grab
mean,
a
yeah,
male,
they get the job done.
yeah. The ones I've seen, they're a beast. Like, okay, so I own Jarvis, right? And I got him from Lester. Well, when Lester still had him, me and Lester went to a place called S&S. They got collars and stuff, and they're like a hunting supply store. Is what they are basically. So
Okay.
we went in there, and Lester wasn't paying attention, and Jarvis was like trying to go around the corner of the countertop, like the counter, and he was like pulling, and I look around the counter, and there's this blackmouth cur. I heard like a little bit of a noise. I look around, and there's this like yellow, like golden yellow with a black nose blackmouth cur, and it was just sitting there, every tooth in its head showing, like at Jarvis. And I like just grabbed down and pulled Jarvis back, and I was like, "Hey, Lester, pay attention." And I pointed at that dog. He didn't even see it. I was like, "Yeah, that dog right there." Jarvis at 6 months old, that male blackmouth cur would have eat him up. That dog was probably 2, 3 years old.
Yeah. Nah, the right ones, if you know who the right ones that they definitely have put the work in.
Yep. Yep, and I mean, like, well, like men around here, like the reason I talk about I don't walk them so much, like the men around here, they're picky because they're black bear everywhere. Like I say, I know a man that killed with other men. They killed 380 bear last year
I can
in my
believe it,
area.
yeah.
Yeah,
I can believe
and
it.
like, well, like he's an old man, like he's got the hides to prove it, and I mean, it's just wild to think that there's that many out there. You know what I mean? Like just wandering around, and like I'm not really too much worried about wandering up on a grown one. I'm worried about wandering up on a young cub and like it not being, because they're not really scared. They'll run right up to you. So that's what I'm kind of
Yeah,
more
because the
worried about.
Cubs are more curious. That's what you got to worry about.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm not worried about big daddy bear. I'm worried about mama bear. For real.
Me, I'm sorry, but I'm
Miss
shooting that
McFarland said, go hit that
motherfucker.
like button, haters.
I'm shooting that motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm
And
sorry.
like, I don't
I
know.
got to
I'm
make it
gonna,
back home.
so if Hound was added later, why do you think they did that?
Uh, well, from my experience, I'm gonna say for brains, it could be a little bit of structure,
Uh,
but also because of the hound. When you with the way American, and I said this before, the way the American Pit Bull Terrier is so inbred in the way it was created,
mhm.
you can basically cross it with anything and then breed it back to the pit bull one or two generations, and two generations, and you would never know really the other dog was in there unless you had the eye for it.
Yep,
So it's basically washing the blood and improving it. That's it. I'll leave it at
yep,
that.
yep. And
Because it's definitely been done. A lot of people in denial with their dog, but you can definitely see it.
well, like, okay, so you know how sometimes our breed will be human aggressive, sometimes, and that's what we consider a flaw in our breed. We don't like most people
Yeah.
don't like it, all that. Well, the reverse hand to that in hounds is they fight at the tree or fight at the animal. You know what I mean? That when they get to the animal ready to catch it, they fight the other dogs instead of going in. So like back in
Yep.
the day,
Yep.
if they knew, we're talking 1960, right? If they knew that Jim Bob down the road liked fighting dogs, and they had a red bone that would fight every time it went to the tree, and they got sick of it, and like, this is just the way old men think. I know because I can bring some on that'll tell you. Uh, they'd send that dog to Jim Bob's down there and tell him put him through the wood chipper. You know what I mean? He wants to fight, let him fucking fight. So I have known of men to do that. Like in back in the day, they're all older in their 70s now, 80s. You know what I mean? So, but I have known of men to do that, and then that hound dog done what better than what they thought it was going to do. So, I mean, like when it. So, are you a person that believes gameness can be in other breeds? You can find gameness to a level in other breeds.
Yeah, it's just the like you said, it's the level of gameness.
Hmm.
A lot of breeds have gameness. I mean, most of the working class dogs, especially the bull and terrier, Rottweiler, certain
Hmm.
mastiffs, dogos, people forget all of those dogs were fighting dogs. Also,
Yep.
people forget that a lot of them dogs can't be around each other. Only a handful of them, but most of them dogs can't be around each other either.
So Hemi said, I don't think hound was influenced into the APBT at all. Now the hound breeders might introduce some bulldog into theirs. Could have some mutt masquerading as an APBT. Nah, not when you get them from the men I'm getting them from. Uh, I mean, I've got them from straight up legends, and them still look like a hound dog. It's if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, most of the time it's probably half duck at least.
It's definitely in there
There's some duck in there.
because you have are you
Might even be
familiar
a little
with
goose.
are you familiar with the black and white American bulldogs?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
The
but
Scots type.
you do know that them dogs were created with APBT being
Hmm.
inbred back and forth. You do know that, right?
Yeah, I learned that
And
from. I didn't know
they
nothing
they
about
look
the
just
American
like
Bulldog.
Boomerang did.
Yep.
They look
I didn't know
exactly like
nothing
Boomerang.
about the American Bulldog until Pride of the Southland come out and started giving some history on it and stuff. I salute that guy. I like his channel, Pride of the Southland channel. He's got some
Yeah,
nice
because
American Bulldogs.
like a lot of it in the beginning, they kept real inside the circle, but they did acquire a dog down from Floyd stuff, and I forgot who the other one was because they only used two game dogs. I know
Yeah,
one was down from Floyd stuff, and I can't remember the other person they had acquired it from. But they started breeding the American Bulldog because they wanted American Bulldogs that were more athletic and had a little bit more drive. So they selected two particular bloodlines from people, and that's what they used to breed to those black and white bulldogs.
yep,
And they inbred it back and forth to pit bull, back to the American bulldog, back to the game. And I forgot the official name of the line, but those dogs are out here. And then when you look at those American bulldogs, they don't look nothing like the other two breeds. They don't
yeah,
look like the Johnsons, and they don't look like the Scots. When you
yeah,
look at them, you know that them dogs have game dogs.
yeah. And like, I mean, when you add game dog to pretty much anything, it's gonna show. You'll see it. So, like, it's hard to breed this breed to anything and not get it. You know what I mean? To a little bit of an extent. Uh, we're really big to say that, oh, the hound dog wasn't. We don't add nothing to our breed because our breed's the greatest, but everybody adds ours to everything else. That is no. There is hound dogs that'll make bulldogs look like curb pieces of shit, and I promise.
That's not, yeah, I'm about to say, because that's definitely not true. Because you had some
Yeah.
old timers who came out and even told about certain stories about them hound dogs being
Uh
crossed
huh.
with these dogs. So it's
Uh huh.
just, ain't no point in arguing with somebody that's in
Hey,
denial.
I
Because,
was I was standing on a legend's yard, bro. Everybody looks up to this man. Everybody knows his name, right? I'm not gonna say who it is because that could be anybody. But I said I believe the biggest contributor to a certain bloodline of dogs is the plot hound. And he turned around and the way he looked at me, I'll never forget it. And
oh, I think I know you talking about.
even my buddy said, after that, he was like, "Man, the way he looked at you when you said that," I was like, "Yeah, I know." Because when you breed a plot hound, you get plot hound stuff. Like they breed plot hounds to walkers, they breed plot hounds to blue ticks, they breed plot hounds, and you still get them more heavier on the plot hound side because the gene pool that Johannes Plot started with was 9 dogs. So therefore, his gene pool is 9 dogs, their litter mates, their parents' litter mates, their grandparents' litter mates. That's the gene pool that they built that whole breed on. One, spe- one specific family of dogs. So like when people says, "Oh, well, they don't add no hound to no APBT," it really tells me you've never been behind actual working hounds. You've never been in deep shit when it took you when it depended on the dog whether or not you were going to get out of there. Like when you're bear hunting, them bears get mean sometimes. They rarely freeze, and only young bear freeze, and old men won't shoot them. Cause like on the GPS, you can tell where they run and stuff at. Well, I mean, if you want to, I mean, there's a certain bloodline of these dogs that has red bone in them, and I know for a fact you can't hide it. You can't hide it.
Oh,
When they come out and their head ain't creased on the top, it's got a point on the top of it. That's hound dog, bro. That's a hound dog thing. Our breed, I ain't in my whole childhood, I never seen a dog that had a knot on the top of its head. But red bones and blackmouth curs,
but
like
they
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 have,
use red bones a lot though. They definitely use
yeah,
red bones a lot.
because as they're breeding red bones, they're getting meaner and more dog aggressive a lot of the time. That's all the hound guys I know around here that I talk to say that they're getting to where they have to get rid of them because they all start to fight at the tree. Why is that? What breeder?
Yeah,
What traits are
and I
they accidentally
believe
harnessing on?
the AKC had put out an article about that recently too, if I ain't mistaken.
Like it's. I mean, when you're. I mean, my cousin Chris, he's one of the best houndsmen I've ever met in my life, dude. And like when he was my age, old men would tell him, "Son, you got the dogs." Like I've been there. I've been there when 70-year-old men told him, like, you're the hottest thing in the woods right now as far as when it comes to these dogs. And I mean, we had a couple dogs. One was named Blaze and one was named Spot. And I'm telling you, when you let them out of the truck, you didn't go home empty-handed. I never went home empty-handed behind them dogs. Like, I don't know. It's hounds are sick. Like they are.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
man.
Hemi, it's definitely as far as with the game dog,
But
they definitely number one. But you do have other dogs that are in that category. But with a lot of people forget here in America with people dealing with, I'm gonna say, less space as a whole,
Hmm.
and being able to travel with the size of the American Pit Bull Terrier, that would be the way to go because they still use bull terrier. For example, over there in Pakistan with
Yeah.
the bully cutter and all them, and it's crazy that people don't realize that they're still bull terriers are still as active as American Pit Bull Terriers. Just to this day, they still are. But being on this side of the world and people not traveling, a lot of people don't know this information.
So SBC said, I'm pretty sure that's solo but connected. He said instinct of scratch would be diluted with other breeds being added. So, all right. So when you get out of the truck and you open that dog box and you unhook that leash, they're chasing, and when they get up to it, them dogs like fly hounds grab bear. I don't think people understand that. They grab. I've seen I've seen bear go up the tree with a plot hound hanging off their ass. Like they scratch on bear. I promise. And a
It's
lot
the
of
it's
the
the
time,
it's the brains. It's a
yeah.
lot of people don't understand. A lot of people can't don't they don't understand. See the lack of knowledge elevated. If these guys never seen a plot hound work, and you're telling them this information, it's like talking to a goldfish
Well,
because a lot of them
I'll
not
put this out.
they're not.
If you're interested in watching plot hounds run, contact me and you can pay for a hunt, and I'll take you and put you where plot hounds are on.
That's the way you got to
See
show them.
firsthand.
That's the
I
way you
can
got to show them.
pay for it, and I will take you to do it. And I promise you'll see it. Uh, Plot hounds will scratch on bear. This is why I say this, right? So say they sometimes run bear for like 3-4 hours and stuff. Like one bear, it'll
Yes,
run,
sir.
and and by the time them dogs get that bear treed, they'll be exhausted. Them guys will go with the young boys and send them back to the truck. They'll bring the new hound in, and they'll send them older dogs back to the truck, and they'll sick them young dogs, the fresh dogs. They'll go back to baying it, and it'll come down the tree. Sometimes they'll run it again. Like they'll test multiple packs of dogs. They don't always shoot the bear out to these bear dogs. That ain't where they get their gratification, I don't think. Not just chewing on it, whereas other breeds do. So let's see. Well, I mean, so we're not talking about just because their willingness to fight. Every breed will fight. Every breed will throw down. I've seen Chihuahuas throw down like game dogs. I mean, I had Chihuahuas. Like
Hey,
they're
you ain't
mean.
lying.
Nah,
Go
them
ahead,
I've seen
Chihuahua.
them. I've seen them go straight in the chest.
Hey,
Seen
you
one
ain't
go into the
lying. My
stifle of the
wife
gut.
breed them motherfuckers. You ain't lying.
Hey, I want one. I would love
She
to have a
breed
little
them. She
Chihuahua.
got them.
Are
Man,
they
what?
apple heads?
Yup.
That's what I want.
Yup.
Yep. I would love to have a little apple head. You know why? Because it ain't gonna take shit from none of my pit bulls. My pit bulls will respect that little dog for some reason. They
Yeah,
just
I'm gonna
they
remind me
walk
to. I'm
around
gonna
with that
send you
aura.
something later.
All
I'm gonna
right.
send you something later.
I mean, like, so this world of dogs ain't just black and gray. Like, it's not just black and gray. Everything we see in our breed, other people sees that in their breeds too. We just like to think we're special because we got the
But
American
but
Pit Bull Terrier.
I mean, yeah, it's good to beat your chest on that. But again, elevated. If these
Uh
guys
oh,
are in
lips
the
open.
closed circles and you never seen it before, like for instance, how the screen is up right now with the dog on the treadmill. If you was to put up the hounds that's going and doing this work, that'll help people to understand why certain people hid those hounds inside of those game dogs. See, the
Yep,
people that got the hounds, they not going to hide it. They going to tell you because they just trying to improve their breed. But because of the stigmatism around the American Pit Bull Terrier, you got to be on the hush hush with that hound inside of it.
Yeah.
But if you listen to the way, and again, we're in the age of technology. It's literally hundreds of videos up talking about game dogs. Listen to what some of these people say. Certain people say bulldogs. Certain people say hounds. Some of the people that only address them as bulldogs don't know the other side.
All
They
right.
and some of them do know it. Some of
So
them do
that's
know.
my question, right? Okay, everybody will talk about their hounds, their hounds, their hounds. Where did that get started? Why did we start calling them hounds? Who, you know what I mean? And when? When was the first time you heard them called hounds that you remember?
Man, I've been hearing that from day one. There's
Okay.
bulldogs and hounds, but see,
Why?
uh,
Why are these men referring to them as hounds?
and that's the $1 million question.
Is it
That's the
because they
million
have
dollar
hound in
question.
them, or is it because they just, I mean, that's just a cool term? I think a
I
lot of
mean,
people
now
just
again,
use it as a cool term.
with certain famous dogs that created lines, you can definitely see the hound in that dog.
Yeah.
You can look at the paws and know that dog has hound in
Dre said, I've
it. I
seen dogs
mean,
that look like
you,
hounds, but them old yellers ain't no hounds. Neither are the
you
Freemason bloodline, bro. But,
I mean, you could look at some of them paws and see the hound in it. But
yeah,
again, if you
their
put
feet structure.
if you sh- if you show the paw of that hound dog and you put it next to that APBT, somebody's still gonna tell you they don't see it,
Yeah, yeah. So,
and that's just that.
the first time, okay, so I remember the first time I ever really saw somebody call one a hound, because in my area, we don't call them hounds. They're bulldogs here. So, the first time I was on Facebook, I was in one of them groups. I was probably like 18, right? And and this guy said underneath the dog that looked pretty good, you know what I mean? But I thought when I seen it, that dog kind of looks like a hound. Then I read the first comment, and that said good looking hound, and I thought he was hating. You know what I mean? The first time I really seen it, I thought he was hating. And I was like, that dude just called that other dude's dog a hound. I remember telling my brother that, like showing it to him, and he laughed too. And then like the more I went on, like people call them hounds. I don't call my dogs hounds. I just don't. They're not hounds to me. They don't act like hounds. They don't look like hounds. Uh, if I had a bunch of macho buck dogs, I'd probably call them hounds.
And
And to
this the
me, that's
thing
what they
though,
look like.
elevated.
Red bones.
This the thing though, traits. When they talk about gene pool and talk about traits, now you especially you should know this. You ever been on you ever been on somebody's yard and you know the blood of their dogs and you notice certain group of their dogs bark just like hound dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, loud, echoey, right?
I mean, you can hear them
Long,
dogs
long
from
stretched
the next
barks.
town over.
Yep. So
They
SBC
even
said,
but see again the lack of information because the more people study these hound dogs and then they go to these yards and some of these public shows and you look at some of these so-called 100% APBT and then you look at how they bark and you listen to it, you will realize that it's something in it.
so SBC said, why would a fast lane dog man mix in cur? Come on, man. So when I say the word cur, you're thinking of a piece of shit. That's a breed of dog that has characteristics, traits of its own. So, and then he said, I can see bull terrier and staff because it's in the family, but not plot hound. Plot hound's in the family too in some of these dogs. I mean, there's a family of dogs that you breed still to this day. It don't matter what you breed to them. You cross it up, breed it to them, you still get that look. Why? Why? What is the gene? Because it's tighter bred on the dogs that they don't want to say it's bred on than they really will admit. Just like the red bone stuff. And their color traits is only black or seal and brindle or only red. That's why they could add them, because they know they're going to get that consistency with the color. Why is it now today we have bloodlines of dogs that every dog comes out black and every dog comes out the same shade of red, when our breed has been a variety color breed from the beginning, even though we haven't because we haven't focused on it? Why is it now we only get two colors? when you go to certain
They've been
colors
crossing
that you
them
see.
black mouth
And,
curs with game dogs for a minute now.
yeah, and I'm telling you, blackmouth cur, they'll jump on anything, bro.
There's a lot of Jeep dogs that's crossed with black mouth curs.
Yeah, and I mean, like I say that because I know
There's a
I
lot
know
of Jeep
how.
dogs that's with black
Well, and
mouth
like
curs. I got
Yeah, he went out.
he means cur as in non-APBT. So every dog that's not an APBT is a cur, but not even every APBT ain't a cur. That logic ain't making sense to me, because there's not even every pit bull terrier ain't a cur. So now every other dog that ain't a pit bull terrier is a cur, not a cur too, but don't even get a chance to prove it. That's where I don't agree with certain things. Like that's closed-mindedness. You know what I mean? There is other breeds that would put these bulldogs to shame in their own world.
I mean, they already doing it again. Elevated the way the world is now, especially with people traveling less.
Mm-hmm.
You got to realize that's you have to expect to hear that because you have a group of guys that think bull terriers are not working when indeed you still have a bunch of bull terriers that are out here winning titles, and then
Uh-huh.
not only that, they're being crossed into all them dogs overseas and making even better dogs. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so it's not if you only study in the American Pit Bull Terrier, that's the type of comments you're going to have.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You got to study other breeds
is if that's the only thing you're
to
looking at, that's like a Chevy technician. If all he done is work for Chevy all his life and never touched nothing else,
he ain't
he
gonna
gonna
shit
think
about no
Chevy.
Toyota.
Okay, so it's at the end of the day, that's what it is. Because I seen plenty of other breeds kill pit bulls, so
So,
I'm not even about to entertain that shit.
Quick FC said, why would they add Plot or any other dog when the APBT been around longer? No, we was there was hounds hunting for. We've been hunting with hounds for a long time. Like, why do you think we domesticated dogs? It wasn't so we could fight them. I mean, come on now. When you're sitting around when you can't even hardly make a fire and you're hungry, you ain't worried about fighting no dogs. You're worried about them trying to catch something to eat. So I
Yeah,
can assure you,
fighting
well,
dogs came later. It was hunting
fighting dogs
dogs
came
first, then came
after
the fighting.
hunting dogs, and I ain't talking about scent hounds. That could be catch dogs, any of that. They were, I mean, you got to put yourself in a hungry man's shoes before you know.
But see, the a part of that problem elevated. The world has gotten really soft. I'm gonna just say in America because if you follow ancient times, even before all these paperback books, you can see that the hunting dogs were first.
Yeah.
Now the problem is as far as America, it got too soft because a lot of these guys with hunting dogs that don't complete the task, they still here. Then overseas, if you didn't complete the task, that dog wasn't a part of the program. So
Yeah.
because here in America and most of these guys not traveling, they see this bullshit that's going on. So that at the end of the day, elevator, you got to remember a lot of people haven't seen the right stuff for them to comprehend what you're saying.
Yeah. Like I
So
said,
you always got to look at it that way.
I'll talk to my buddies and we'll figure out a price. And if you want to come and watch some dogs hunt in the woods, you can pay for a hunt. We'll put you,
Yeah,
and when
because
you
you
pay for
you
a
got to
hunt,
think about that. It wasn't a bunch of fighting dogs putting food on the table back in
no,
those days.
no,
Like we got to think with common sense there. That wasn't what
yeah,
was going on. That came later.
yeah.
Now, not arguing that the American Pit Bull Terrier is the best box hound. We
Yeah,
we can argue that, okay, but I think what they get mixed up, I think they thinking you're saying that the other dogs were more
Of a
fight
focus.
crazy and box worthy. Yeah.
Yeah,
But see,
no, 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 no.
what they're not realizing is they keep saying, "Why would you add this and this?" And I said it in the beginning: brains,
Yep.
brains.
And
Because
grit.
again, all this inbreeding, the dogs are not getting smarter.
Well, and grit, right? Uh, Grit is the reason you would add one. Plot hounds that'll grab bear in the face got more grit than like, but they're intelligent enough to not get killed. They'll bite them, back up, get in the right place, and go back in
Exactly,
again. You know what I
exactly.
mean? Their
And
intelligence
how many
overweighs
pit
their.
bulls you see killing bears?
Uh, okay, so the men here they would never use one. They would never take one. Because they know that it's not going to let go. It'll get killed. Like all these old men, they've been around bulldogs, except for they've been around like real snooty dogs. They've been around like the real deal stuff. Why not add Lassie? Well, see, they can't get away with adding Lassie because Lassie has a hairy ass, and
Yep.
it don't, you can't hide that. So, like these men are adding dogs that they know work. Lassie, I mean, shit. Lassie ain't got nothing on certain breeds of hounds. You know what I mean? So, and like they can't. Okay, so here's an example of why I say plot hound and red bone, because they can add it color wise and it don't stand out. If you add a walker, walkers are white with black and tan saddles and black and tan faces. If you bred that
Yep.
to a pit bull, you would see it. Like it would pop out. So they couldn't get away with that. Like no, everybody wants to put these men on honest pedestals. Some of these men did not give a shit. They knew what dog worked and they bred it. They didn't care what people thought.
I mean, and again, a lot of folks do not understand the American Pit Bull Terrier is one of the breeds to where you can, even though you have to have the eye to see it, they're one of the breeds that you can add something to and hide it the quickest
yeah,
without doing 4 or 5
because
breedings.
of how tight
That
bred we can take them.
that's what. And once people understand that, and then they start to do their research about the other dogs, everything will come full circle. But until
All
people
you
do
gotta
that,
do
is
all you gotta do is take a line of red boy dogs, breed it to a plot hound. Take your two
yep,
good ones that are
yep,
great, or a red bone. I mean, take your two good ones out of that litter that are great. Breed it back to a Carver family of dogs, and everything you did just disappeared, except for the traits that stand with that dog. And like I said, I'll talk to my buddies. I'll figure out a price. I'll make an ad for it, and if you're really interested in watching hound dogs work, you can pay for a hunt, and we'll take you. And when you pay for a hunt, that guarantees you will see and shoot a bear. You know what I mean?
and
Like,
that's
it,
what it's gonna take.
yeah,
That's what
we'll
it's gonna
hunt
take.
until we see one, till you get one. And if it's you know what I mean? Like it'll be a day hunt, for that certain price. I've known of people doing hunts for like $1,000, but it ain't gonna be nothing like that. I'll do it cheaper to where people will actually pay to come watch. But you better bring your boots and you better have them tied tight.
Go get you a pair of caterpillar boots.
I can take on coon hunts, bear hunts, or hog hunts up here. Whichever one somebody wants to pay to watch. Or you can pay to watch all three. I'm not opposed to it. It would give us content we can. And I promise you'll have a good time. I
Yeah.
promise. Shoot, I'm gonna eventually, Big A. I want to take you and Dre on one.
Right.
I'd love to get y'all to go. Get y'all to shoot a bear yourself. That'd be sick.
Yeah. Have you have you ever been on a? I mean, have you ever hunted? Like, do you hunt?
Yeah, I've been on bunches of hunts, but I don't never shoot them out. I don't try to, and I don't really ask to because of my vision problem. Uh,
Hmm.
usually when you're out there, I mean, you ain't got a whole case of ammo, so you know what I mean. I just
Right.
let the guy go and shoot it out usually. Uh, yeah, I mean, I coon hunted my whole life. That was my favorite shit right there.
Right.
From the time I was about 9 years old till I was about 22, we coon hunted heavily every other weekend. My cousin Chris went 5 days a week, but I didn't go
Yeah.
every day. I should have. Now that you know what I mean, like that we're older and like he's doing it a little less than he was, I should have, man. Now I kind of regret that. I should have been there every chance I got, but you know, young, wanting to be go out and hang out with your friends, do stupid shit like that. So,
Right.
but yeah, I mean that's what I grew up doing. Like I said, if something happened to my yard of pit bulls, I'd fill this yard full of walkers, and I wouldn't worry about the pit bull community. I'd just hound hunt.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, so for me, it really don't make sense for me to have a yard full of bulldogs, like, in my area, because most guys, I mean, hell, everybody's out. The Ingles parking lot on a Friday night at about 8 o'clock is lined up with about 25 Toyotas with plot hounds in it and walkers
Hmm.
and shit. Like, it's a different world. That's why I say, like, if you pay for a hunt, like, we gonna go to Ingles before we go out and hunt. We'll eat something, you know, get something to eat, take it to Ingles, eat it while we're talking to all the other hunters. Right, they all figuring out where they're gonna go, because when you're bear hunting, it ain't like we roll up in the truck, release the dogs, we get out and walk to the bear. Right, a lot of
Yeah.
the times they're working with radios, and they go um like around hollers and stuff. Like there's teams where they'll run the other way, because the bear will just keep going. It'll just keep running straight until it feels that they ain't no threat anymore. So they'll have dogs that they let out that head the bear off, that run it back the other way towards you. You know what I mean? So you can, like, in the night there'll probably be 60 dogs let loose. But at
Right.
the end, when it's treed and they got it treed, they might only be 13 dogs standing at the tree, 8 dogs standing at the tree.
Yeah.
So
So, uh, I know
you just
I
you just
might
can't
sound,
show none of that on YouTube.
I know I might sound crazy, but for me, it's American Pit Bull Terrier or nothing,
Yeah,
and that's just how I look at it. And for me, that's why I say I've said it once, I say it twice, I say it a million times. If I know that you got multiple breeds on your yard, I'm not getting a dog from you, because I know in the back of my mind you a scientist. I don't want to have any confusion as to what I'm getting, and I respect everybody's word, you know, uh, in the whole nine for what they stand for. But I don't want to have any confusion. The dog might be a working dog, but if I was just going for strictly a working dog from a hunting perspective, then I wouldn't care. But if I'm going for what I'm trying to buy, I need to get what I need. I want what I'm investing myself into. I don't want to have to look a couple of 3, 4 generations down the line and find out one of those dogs in the pedigree wasn't one of those dogs. You know what I'm saying? And I built my whole program off of a, you know what I'm saying? And in the, if I've seen boys scrap, throw all they whole program away behind that. You know, so for me, uh, I know the controversy. I know all the stuff about, what y'all was talking about. But if you're not dealing strictly in what I'm dealing with, you couldn't give me a dog, because because in the back of I don't want to have that question in the back of my mind. Forget the pedigree, forget all that stuff. I wouldn't want that question in the back of my mind. You know.
so that's
Yeah.
a issue. That's an issue within the person that's buying it. You know, not the
Yep.
dude, because I have sissy, and that don't mean that sissy is going to be added into my termite shit.
But at the same time, elevated.
So, like, you
All
wouldn't get a dog
respect.
from me because I own sissy.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm just being 100, and I know you got good dogs, elevated. I'm not knocking anything from that. You
But
know what I'm saying? It's all.
then
But I'm just saying. But I would get a dog from somebody who I know for a
Now
fact.
what happens when my sissy shit does the pit bull terrier thing better than your pit bull terrier?
Good for Sissy. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Sissy. You doing a good job doing what you're doing. I'm not like that's the thing. I'm not saying your program is bad. I'm not saying that
But
you know what I'm saying.
basically
Was
by
a
saying you wouldn't get a dog from me because I own sissy that that tells everybody that looks up to you, oh well, you shouldn't
Mhm.
do none of that. You know what I'm saying?
No,
You
it's
should
not
accept
telling
elevated
it.
because he has a staff.
Wait, what? What
No,
is?
no,
What is
time out,
sissy?
time
What
out.
is sissy?
No, no, time out. Hold up, time out. Not nobody. I'm not saying elevated. It doesn't have
Yeah,
to be elevated. It could be anybody elevated. And the
yeah,
thing is, like I said, if I was coming to you or somebody like you, and I wanted a working dog, I didn't give a damn what I got. Long as that bad boy showed up, yes. But if I'm going for an American Pit Bull Terrier from the core, I don't want to look back at my pedigree and be like, well, there was a question about this dog, or this and this and this and that. It ain't got nothing. It ain't got no disrespect towards you or anything. But the majority of the people that I know that have dogs on their yard, they have multiple breeds, and it's not just you. They are a scientist. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna roll the dice. I just have a check system of what I do to have the least amount of failure. Not saying that I can fail, but I have a checklist that I'm going by so I can sleep better at night. That's just me.
yeah.
So it ain't no disrespect towards you. It ain't saying I don't trust you. It's just I'm saying in general. This ain't even fully directed towards you. You just said because you have sissies. So I'm
Yeah.
just making it.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What is sissy?
She's staff.
Oh, I ain't going to say nothing about that stuff.
She's
Yeah.
my staff
And
and my
I know the deal with that. I already know. But I'm at the same time, I'm not gonna be in that topic of conversation, or I don't want to be in that topic of conversation when it comes to what I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, them every man that owns other breeds of dogs, sometimes he ain't lying. Like they ain't so not everybody has a reason to lie about certain things, and like there is a lot of men that back in the day to stay in their group that they were affiliated with.
So y'all
I mean,
telling
this is
me
Yeah.
what
this
they did.
American
There
stuff
is
is
men
Yeah,
doing
my man.
exactly the same thing that your
Yeah.
papers are built on that you don't know are a lie now. I bet if we break down everybody, we can break down papers, and there is parts that is questionable in every pedigree.
I wouldn't doubt it. I
I
wouldn't
mean,
doubt it.
it's
I wouldn't
because
doubt it.
this
But at the
breed is
same
full of a bunch
time,
of
but at
liars
the
back in
same
the day.
time, but at the same time, if it's in my first 5 generations, oh, it's a problem to me.
Then you might have a problem
Yep.
because there's a lot of controversy shit in pedigrees. People like to lie on each other and shit too. Not just the dogs lying.
I've said
Like
this before. I've said this before. I only deal with people that I really fool with. You can have the best dog I've ever seen in the world. If I don't know you, I don't fool with you. I have a checklist. That's just it. I'm not going across the country to go get a dog that I don't know from a well-respected dog man and don't know what I'm getting. I would rather go down the street and deal with my partner and we can work it out. So there goes that trust,
so,
you know, right there.
Sunday and Sophie said, "So y'all telling me American Staffordshire Terrier is the more purebred dog? I'd rather deal with people that straight up. No, it's not the more purebred dog. Like I would say our breed is real purebred because of the way men used to breed them. As far as the way families and gene pools would get harnessed down, that's when you're talking about purebred. You know what I mean? That is the only thing purebred means. Purebred was a term that men made up that they could put on their dogs to sell them. It was a selling factor. My dogs are purebred, you know, because
yeah, along with the registry.
Along with saying game. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? All of that.
Well, when
But
they
see, that's
found
the
out what
that
people wanted.
all. But see, all of that goes out the window for me because I deal with people who I fool with, and we on the same level. It's a difference.
Because
You know what I'm saying?
the whole Staffordshire thing again, if it wasn't for the registries, you wouldn't. That question couldn't come up without the AKC doing what they did back in the day, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
And I keep saying that because you have family members that are your first, second cousins, and some of y'all have different last names, but
Hmm.
you know how tight and how close you are to that actual cousin by blood, but y'all have different last names. It's the same fucking thing with the
Yeah.
Staffordshire Terrier. And I have constantly over and over and
I
over
think we're.
show families of staff dogs that are still being bred down today that are next to the Jeep dog, the Staffordshire Bull Terrier Tacoma lines that are next to some of the Chinaman shit, a lot of these dogs, the Red Boy shit, a lot of these dogs, other side of their family, which you call staffs, are still being bred side by
Mhm.
side today. And again, if it wasn't for the registry, we wouldn't have these different names. It was the
It just
registry. It's in the
it
Sporting Dog
excluded
Journal.
a
It's
lot
in
of
all the
stuff.
other documents.
Yeah.
It's in all of the documents. If it
The
wasn't for the
logistics,
registry,
basically, the logistics of the way the registries ran dictated the way we see certain things today.
exactly.
Like
You have to put
their
that in account.
politics.
You have to put that in account because and that's a whole nother topic, but you have to put that in account at the end of the day. Because just like because elevated, just like how you told how your family came over here, we know for a fact if all that shit didn't happen back in the day, a lot of families would still have one last name. It's the same
Yeah.
thing that happened with the dogs in the registries. So for people to try to act like they can't comprehend that, it's just no point in even repeating it. Because
Yeah.
again, these name changes over the last 100, 2, 3, 4, 500 years has came from certain politics and things changing. But without that, it wouldn't be American Pit Bull Terrier versus Staffordshire. It wouldn't even be a topic.
Yeah. Well, like purebred, it's talking when people use that word, it's talking more about the breeding practice that was used to make it. You know what I mean? Not the fact that you bred a pit bull terrier to a pit bull terrier. No, you know what I mean? Like you, that is purebred. They are purebred pit bulls. You know, like as far as the way we say things. But a purebred dog is bred like heavily bred on specific individuals, you know, or a family of them individuals, like using cousins, brothers, sisters, all that stuff. This Big C, he said exactly, Mike Dan. You had to work hard and have someone speak positively on you to even have a
Yeah,
conversation with them.
that's a
Uh,
big thing. Big
back
time.
Well, like, let me put it this way. So I was taking care of dogs from the time I was 8 years old, feeding them, cleaning up their shit, taking care of them, watching them have puppies from the time I was probably 8 years old. 7, 8 years old was the first time I did it. And I didn't get my first pit bull terrier till I was 14. So you can call that paying your dues if you want to, but yeah, I definitely put in the work to even end up getting my first one. I had to prove that I could have my first one at my dad's house without causing issues with his. You know what I mean? Like, because his dogs were mean. Like, they were super aggressive. And, like, Mason, I raised him, you know, from a young age. So, and he was just fine. I never had one time I had an issue, right? One time. And my dad laughed at me. I walked outside and I didn't know that Thor come out behind me. And I went to Mason's kennel and I let him out. And he ran over there. He was probably only about 6 months old. And he ran over there and Thor snatched him up. Thor was 17 years old almost, probably 16 at the time. And he snatched him up and made his neck bleed. And my dad laughed at me. Told me his old dog whipped my young dog and laughed at me. But so that was the only altercation I ever had with him. And, you know, I learned from that.
Sunday And Softy say, so what individuals do you use to make a Rottweiler? It's other Rottweilers. Y'all confusing me a little bit.
How is that
Okay.
confusing? So
I don't know.
I don't
It's
know
funny to
nothing
me.
about Rottweilers. I've only ever been around 2 real Rottweilers, and I liked them both. They were actually really good dogs. They acted good. They were
Yeah.
built nice. They weren't
One of
over
the best
proportioned or
one of the
anything.
best dogs I ever had in my life was a Rottweiler.
Well, the Rottweiler that took time to make, but that's a final product, just like the Staffordshire slash Pit Bull slash Bull Terrier.
Yeah,
Those are final products. Most of the dogs that made those dogs are not here no more. That's what you call a final product. Humans and killed off so much shit you can't duplicate certain stuff. You can play with the genetics and try to bring it back, but the individuals to make it, those been gone for about 300, 500 years now.
yep. Well, like, so my Mason and Sissy stuff, I've never called them pit bulls. If you can get on, you can't find one place I've ever called them pit bulls, right? But what I'm doing is I'm gonna have my own line of staffs that I made better with my pit bull blood. I'm just fixing my staff. Everybody thinks I ain't trying to fix my pit bull. Hell, if I needed to fix my pit bull, I wouldn't have bred Mason to her. I bred Mason to
I
every other
mean,
pit bull bitch I got. So I mean,
at the end of the
I'm
day,
just
elevated. If they were so different, if they was really so different, they would have separate paperwork. But for the fact that you can go online and lead from a bull terrier to a pit bull, from a staff to a pit bull, and you can actually breed what they call Staffordshire to a pit bull and get paperwork without having to dual register. That should tell you something. If the registries allow you, you cannot breed a bully to an American Pit Bull Terrier and they're gonna give you the pedigree with the paperwork just like that. You can't do
yeah,
that. If you breed a Staffordshire to a American Pit Bull Terrier, it's on the same pedigree and they give you paperwork for it. So if they
uh-huh,
was truly so different, why do they do that? Because no other breed you can do that with. No other
yeah,
breed you can do that with. No other breed you can do that with. But the
yep,
Staffordshire and the Pit Bull Terrier. Those are the only breeds you can do that with, where they won't question nothing and give you the paperwork for it. So again, it's only because of what happened with the AKC. If people do their homework, talking, they read all these books, but they skipping the most important parts in the books. The people that had paperwork for their dogs, when the names started to change, those are the people who led that movement. The people who didn't have paperwork on their dog, they followed the people with the paperwork. So again, the whole difference is the color and the shape of the dog. That's the only
yeah,
today. That is the only thing that truly separates them. The color pattern that the pit bull terrier side bred out of their dogs that still pop up every now and then, especially in the red boy dogs. The color pattern and the conformation of the actual dog. That is the only thing that separates them today in 2025.
yeah. And what papers they got from what registry?
Exactly, because if you breed a staff to your say I go get a dog from Gardner and I breed a staff to it, the ADBA is going to give me paperwork for it. The AKC they gonna bitch at you, but they will give you paperwork for it. The
Hmm.
UKC will give you paperwork for it. No other breed you can do that with. But
Yeah,
people saying that they're not the same breed, but what other breed can you do that with?
yeah. That's talking about straight up registry politics. If you don't believe it,
Because the registry know
go
the
call a
politics
registry and
behind
tell
the
them you
name
did that
change.
and see what they say. Like,
The registry know what happened back in the day, the reason why they got divided. So that's the reason why they give you the paperwork for it, because they know it's the same goddamn dog.
yep.
It's just the color patterns and the conformation.
Now,
Pit bulls are more lean and they come in certain standard colors. But depending on the line and the dog, the individual dog, you can still get them Staffordshire color dogs and
all,
patterns.
all I
Again,
know is
look at the Ray Boy
these
dog.
freaking comments are cooking so much I can't even keep up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So it just don't. I loved these dogs before I knew the difference in the staff and the pit bull. As a young kid, you couldn't have convinced me there was a difference. You know what I mean? As far as like looking at them, I was like, huh. So because staffs and bullies are different, right?
Mhm.
Bullies are even less picky, right? So they have some English bulldog in the bullies. They have, other types of dogs in the bullies that make them where they can exaggerate them. And they have this conversation in the bullies with the other breed of dogs. I'll just say that.
Mhm.
They have this argument at whether or not this dog belongs in their breed with a different breed of dogs in the
Okay.
bullies.
Well, let me
So
say
it's
this
weird.
then. So, elevated.
Yeah.
You went and showed a list of dogs off of Mason, right? All of those dogs were different colors or
Yes,
different color
they were
variations.
all my pit bull terrier stuff. None of them were my staff stuff.
I'm saying,
So
they're all different color variations, right?
yeah,
You had uh what was it? Two red dogs make a black dog, right?
dude. Yep.
Okay. So this entire time you have been fighting, trying to prove the fact that they are the real deal. That is a question that some people may have and don't want to have that question.
Yep.
Don't want to have to explain to other people, hey, this is the whole thing, and following the same line that you following as far as the going through the process, having to explain it to them.
Mm,
That's why I say, man, people like what they like. They see a good dog. If they want that good dog, they don't care. They just want that good dog. But if you have somebody going for a specific thing, because most lines they're gonna pretty much follow between like three colors, damn near. You know what I'm saying? That's a standard. So when it goes
what's
outside
the
of that,
three
people
colors?
are, I don't know, whatever the line is. I'm just saying. When somebody's looking for it, that's typically it's gonna be three colors that are gonna come out. I don't know. It depends. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the crowd. I'm just saying. So when it comes down to stuff like that, people don't want to have a question in the back of their mind. They don't want to have to carry that argument to the next generation and the next generation. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody comes to get a dog from somebody like you, they see what they like. They
Mm,
fool with you. They might trust you to the like fully, and then they like, man, I'm buying into this program because I want this dog.
yep.
But it's not everybody is going to go around and be like, okay, I want to go that route. Some people, you know what I'm saying? Depending on the region that you live in, your mind is only been exposed to X amount of lines that's in your region. So
Right.
that's all you know what I'm saying. So stepping outside of your region, the only thing that you know is where you came from, and you know everything about that. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So naturally, if somebody's going to step out of their region, they're probably going to go with what they know. They're not going to jump out there and, you know what I'm saying? So those are things that count when it comes to people trying to get their specifics in. You know what I'm saying? When they trying to figure out exactly what they want, they have it on their mind. You know what I'm saying? So the thing
I, and
is,
I and I understand what Big A saying too. Elevated.
yeah,
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Because mind you, I have Rottweilers also. So anybody just can't sell me a Rottweiler. It's of course you have American Rottweilers, you have German Rottweilers. You can give me American Rottweiler for free for
Yeah.
certain reasons. So the information I know about the Rottweilers, I'm putting it in Big A perspective. Because again, everybody don't know the lines and all of that of working Staffordshire Terrier. So I understand what Big A is saying
that's
because
all I'm,
again,
yeah,
he Big A might not and Big A might not know all of the working lines of Staffordshire Terrier. So he's
Mike,
going to
I
stick.
don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know,
Look. After the day over with, I want to show you something too. but
Oh
but
no,
on the other, yeah, but
I know about the staffs and the matches and all that. I know about that. But I'm just saying, as
I
far as
understand
all
where
the
you coming
lines
from
and
with it.
yeah, but I'm just saying that's anybody, and it doesn't have to do with these dogs. Step outside of your region and try to get acclimated to another area or whatever. You're going to stick to what you know first because what you know is solid. I know this. You know what I'm saying? So I know this for a fact. You see what I'm saying? There's no question.
And
I know what
elevated
I'm looking for. I
on the
know what
flip
I'm looking.
side, exactly. And on the flip side, elevated. That's the reason why. I got hella videos I can't post on YouTube, but this is the reason why more public hunts and certain things need to happen to expand the knowledge on the other side. Elevated.
It doesn't need to be exposed because it is a well-known thing that when it comes to, and I've said it plenty of times, all the hog hunters that I know could give a damn about the breed. Can the dog do the work?
Well,
Can the
yeah,
dog do the
exactly.
work? You know what I'm saying? It don't. None of that matter, man. None of that matter. They'll take a pit bull, mix it with this, cross whatever the case may be. That's
So
that. So when y'all
But
start
see,
talking about hunting, that's the dog that can do the job. It's a whole. I mean, when you start talking hunting, you talking band dogs, you talking everything. It don't matter. Can the dog get the job done? It don't matter the
but
breed.
that go back to what I said earlier about what's going on in America because the dogs that's hunting that can't complete the task, they staying around for too long. But when you go overseas, them dogs that's hunting to put food on the table, if they can't put food on the table, they ass is gone. And that's
Without
the
a doubt.
problem in America. That's the
And without
problem
a
in
doubt.
America, though. Like I said earlier,
But and elevated this, I'm not trying to just shoot at you or nothing like that because I can guarantee people that have gotten your dogs are return customers because they fool with your program. Period. You know what I'm
in
saying?
my
They know
area,
you.
the hound or the hog hunters would used to take anything you wanted to give them. Now
Yeah.
that's why all my puppies are almost gone.
Yeah,
Like I have
that's what I'm
another
saying.
litter about to drop
I
me
haven't
about
seen,
to
I
go.
have not seen you have a problem getting rid of dogs.
Yeah.
That's not the issue. That has no slight to it. But if I'm going to the store or if I'm going to the car lot and I'm going to go buy that V8 whatever, the SS whatever, I want to get the V8SS. I don't want to have to explain to somebody, hey man, no, this is a V8 when it looked like a V6. Got one pipe in the back in the hole. I don't want to have to go through that process. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm going to the store and I'm going to go buy this specific item, I want that item. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to look for that, find out anything else down the line. Now, if I'm going to the store to get a job done, I need the tool that's going to get the job done. Point blank, period. You see what I'm saying?
And see, so my game dogs cater to one side of the people, and
Mm-hmm.
then my Mason and Sissy stuff cater to the other side. Are you
Yeah.
wanting a Are you wanting a companion that's going to protect you and your kids? Grab your kids, stuff like that. Like they're good with your kids. That's what my
Mm-hmm.
Mason and Sissy shit is. Like
Right.
even Haywood, vicious. I promise. I bet you $100 you won't come up here and touch him. But my daughter can go up there and flirt Polly. Like so, like both. The reason I did that is because you're not gonna just come to me and be like, well, no, I can't give you that type of dog because I don't make that type. No, I got that type too. If you're
Mm-hmm.
interested in a pet, I got you. If you're interested in a working dog, I fucking got you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
anybody with doubt, call the hog hunters. I'll give you their number. You know what I mean? So like that's where placing your dogs where you want them to be worked. Like I would rather give a dog to a hog hunter than sell it to somebody for $1,000. And I swear to
Right.
God by that. I would rather give my dogs to somebody that's going to put them on something. Like I've had 2 dogs that went down deep water, 100% committed, and there was about 20 boys standing there that said they'll buy any fucking thing I produce. So like,
I don't doubt that.
but they
I don't
used to
doubt that.
would,
And
like you were right. They used to would only take whatever the hell somebody give them. You know what I mean? Like they didn't care what breeds was in it as long as it grabbed the hog like it was supposed to. Now I've noticed a shift in these boys. They're starting to get picky. They're like, nah, I want the game dog because they realize there's something different in that. They're willing to die for it versus just get it. So I do get what people mean by mixing dogs. You know what I mean? I
but
do get
you
that.
know,
So,
And that's all I'm saying. Like and like when I say getting a dog, I wouldn't want to get a dog directly from a hog hunter. That's one. I know unless I'm looking for whatever they got and I want what they have. Because I know they experiment. If I know you got multiple breeds on the in the yard, on the ground, you dropping multiple litters, I don't want to question it. So I'm not going that direction. I'll look another way, you know?
but I mean, like some men have their hands in different books. So like, if he
Yeah.
might need his, like the thing about hog hunters, they're breeding their bay dogs sometimes, and they're breeding their catch dogs sometimes. But just because they do that, don't mean that should deter you from getting a dog from them. Those people are
I'm saying,
responsible enough to
if
know
I'm
what they're
going,
breeding to sell you.
yes, if I have my mind on a Corvette that has, I don't know, standard 675 horses on the ground, and I pull up to you, and I'm trying to get a vet, and you're trying to sell me a minivan that has 700 horses on it. You know what I'm saying?
But
And
four
it's a
rotor
hold
seats.
on, it's a fully loaded thing, and it can perform and
Yeah.
everything. I want the Corvette. Give a damn about what that van got going on, man. You know what I'm saying? That van could walk me down every day and twice on Wednesday. I want the vet. Give me the vet. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
So
And hmm?
Sunday and Sophie said, "Don't they call that kennel blindness?" Call
What?
what part of it? Because we kept talking.
It's so many forms of kennel blindness. It is what it
Yeah,
is. But
that was
you
the
like what
that
you
was
like Solo the Connected said, it's a personal opinion. So, but at the same time, I don't want to have to pull up to no confirmation shows. If I want to work, if whatever I want, whatever I have in mind, I want the real deal. I don't want no question in it. I don't want nothing. You might breed a dog that look better than mine all the way. And if I had that dog, my pride wouldn't be on my chest like that. It just wouldn't. I'm just being for real. But not saying that that dog can't perform, can't do everything that any other dog can do. But I want the vet. I
yeah.
don't want
Because
that souped up minivan. I don't want that custom minivan. I'm good. No custom over here, partner. I want the real deal.
well, yeah. The real deal is also like a personal opinion upon like them judges and stuff too. What they like, you know. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I've seen differences, and I've seen dogs that would have won under other judges not win, and then I've seen dogs that I thought should have won not
Yeah.
win nothing. I'm like, huh?
Calypso say it would blow people's mind if they looked into their past generation back what dogs, other breeds of other dogs are in their paperwork. A lot of paperwork hanging. Yes, Calypso, without a doubt, man. It's a whole bunch of that. That's why I fool with a small circle. My circle is so small, man. And that's all I fool with. You know what I'm saying? Period. I'll stay with what I know, and we're gonna rock it that way. I'm not going outside the circle. I stay within my circle because I know what's happening in my circle to the fullest extent. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you at least at bare minimum, I know exactly what's in there for the last 5 generations. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's all I'm saying. Uh,
Yeah, it's a different feeling when you owned every dog in the last 5, 6 generations.
well, I'm not saying I will. I've never owned time out flag on the play because I ain't never owned no 5 generations worth of dogs, but I've been on a yard with 5 generations worth of dogs. I've known people who have full connection to the yard man that they got the dogs from, and I can go to that yard and we can have a combo and go through the whole thing and the whole deal. And they have bred the last couple of 3 or 4 generations on top of what's on over here. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, if at bare minimum, I know for a fact what's happening from that point on here. It ain't no confusion. Yeah, you can go back and yes, you can go all the way till you see the unknowns and you don't know what the unknowns are. But at the same time, I know what I have in my last 5 generations for a fact. We can run the papers and do all of that other stuff, and we can find all this mixed match, whatever the case may be, way down the line. But these last 5 generations, I know what I got. It ain't no confusion. I can sleep better at night. I tell you that.
Welsh is at work, so he'll
Yeah, he
come
said
in
his
and
phone died.
and then I don't know where
Yeah,
Supreme is. Where's Supreme
yeah.
at?
Let me see. Anybody trying to get up in there, man?
And the dogs I run today ain't but 3 people I got to trust: Fat Bill, Jerry Clemens, and French Bill.
You see what I'm saying? And you gonna stay within that circle because you know what you know within that circle. You step outside that circle, it's a crapshoot.
Yep.
And even within that circle, you could come up short, but you know what you're getting.
That's why with my out I used, the 2 outs I was willing to use, I knew where they came from. I knew what they were. My Chinaman bitch passed away from close pyometra, so I didn't get to
Yeah,
use her. But my dirty girl bitch, I know where they came from. They came
yeah.
from Brown. Before that, they come from Pitbull City. Before that, they come from Agram. So
All
like
right. Link in the
my
chat.
out. Yeah, links in the chat. Anybody wants to jump in, y'all welcome to come on in. Ain't no talking shit about Fat Bill in my
Well,
comments.
I mean, I, I mean, it is, I mean, that's his personal opinion. At the same time, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not. That ain't got nothing to do, over here. But at the same time, if that's your circle and you trust your circle, the dogs within your circle, you staying in your circle. No matter what, like if I'm not stepping outside my circle, period. You know what I'm saying? Unless I have no other choice.
Yep.
Then I got to take my time and do my due diligence. That might take me a couple of years.
Yep. And I mean, like, all these old guys that we look up to and salute, they knew who I am. I talked to them. Like, I salute all of them. I have mad respect for all these guys and, like, what they're doing. So that's why I have my pure family of dogs. If I didn't give a shit, I would have just crossed all my Mason and Sissy shit in because it's great. Like, that shit is great. So, like, I do have a little bit of a purist in me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do. Like, I want it to be, or I wouldn't have triple bred fucking Mason dogs if I didn't have a little bit of purist in me. But,
Yeah.
and they come off a line bred dog. So, like, it's important for me to keep them what I want them to be, I'll never cross that stuff up. No way. And it still looks like what it did back in the day. I've showed pictures of them. They still black and white patched. Like, I used Mason to rebirth my Medusa stuff. And people don't even realize that. And as of right now, they act like my dad's dogs used to. The more I keep going, the more they get back dangerous to just let anybody have. Like Mason, I was a young man, so like he was taught how to be good,
Yeah.
I used to teach him to walk beside me. I used to teach him to be respectful, you know what I mean? Sit. He knew all that stuff. And it was important for me to do that because I only had one dog. I was going around, I took him everywhere. Like on leash. I'd go to my buddy's house and tie him up in his yard to a chain. Like, I don't know, I took him everywhere. He went camping with us. I took a chain in the woods and drove it, and he stayed up there camping with us. I've taken him to the lake. I've taken him to the ocean. I've taken him to dog shows in North Carolina. I'm about to go to one in South Carolina. I think I'm going to take him to it. I took him to Louisiana. That was really cool.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, like, building this family of dogs, my parents had them for a while. So, like, they were kind of unknown to the general public, you know what I mean? But, just because they're unknown to the public, that's a good thing sometimes. Like, I know an old guy in town that has some dogs that they ain't been out to nobody, right? The only really guy I respect in my town. And he has nice ass dogs. One of them's in Louisiana. He just sent it down to Louisiana to be bred to some stuff. So it's for the first time being taken out to different stuff that ain't related to it. You know what I mean? And he's about 7 years old, 8 years old now probably. So like, I have mad respect for dogs that aren't. I like the ones that aren't. I can look through the pedigrees and I don't know the names as much as I do the ones I do, because I start learning more. I'm like, well, shit, here's more to learn. Nice. You know what I mean? I'm ready for the
Yeah.
quiz bowl. By the way, I'm ready for that quiz bowl. Okay, we gonna show you what Elevated knows when it comes to that shit.
Uh-huh.
Because I mean, that's right there up my alley. Pedigree research, dog. Hell yeah. I'm
Yeah.
excited for that, and I want it to be like on the fly. That'd be cool as shit.
Yeah.
It really will. I like ideas like that. Kind of like how I was talking about doing the competitions where we carry the stuff. You know what I mean? The men, not the dogs. So like, I
Yeah.
like stuff like that. It's just as important for us to do stuff like that as it is for us to show the dogs off, because that keeps us where we belong in our place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'll show what we know, how willing we are, how much we put in work throughout the days, like all that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what happens when we do it and some older dog man shows up with his yard man and he whoops us?
Right.
He's like, this boy carries all this every day, so I got him. He put him in a keep and everything.
Mm-hmm. Boy, them boys hitting the road.
I was reading what he said. So, Big A, damn, Henny,
Yeah.
86K seconds. Give that man a warning first. I like to read them just to make sure I ain't reading something, that before I say it.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I love the opinions in this dog. I would never want anybody to like completely change their opinions, because that's what the literal topic of today is: variety and types, right? And that opinion right there is what causes variety, right?
Yeah.
100%. So I love it.
Hey, Mike, them pups gotta go, huh? It's all good at first. Man, you ready to hit the road. Somebody, I'll bring it to you. Hold on, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? Meet me halfway. Here it go. You know what I'm saying?
How old are your pups, Mike Dan?
Them pups a lot of work, man. Yeah.
Mercy should be dropping in about 2 weeks. That'll be my last litter.
Yeah.
I got one more. I bred Jarvis to Mercy.
Yeah, man. It happens every time. That's why I know I ain't no breeder, man. I know it.
I love this shit.
Salute to you. You a special kind of special when it comes to that, boy. Because the breeding, you so hyped to get the breeding done. Get the breeding done. Hype about the pups drop. It's all good. That's 1 week. Then here come 2 weeks. All the eyes open, all the little stuff that's gonna happen. It's happening, you getting excited. As soon as them bad boys start eating damn their hard food, it's time for them bad. You got to go. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. You have got to go. You know? Yeah. Hey. Ho. These pups have got to go. Let me stop, man. Man.
My ones off the Judge and Vixen are 5 weeks and 3 days old, I believe.
Yeah.
And the other ones are a little over a week, and then the other ones are like 3 days under a week. So
yeah,
and I'm pretty excited about them. I'm glad they're here. I get to fool with them, get to watch them. I'm making more of my family of dogs. So like every time I do it, man, I love it, because I send them to people and then I get all this feedback, and like, I don't know, it's great, like, to get to see that. We were going to breed my Medusa dog, but we decided to skip it. So she's going to come back up here, and I'm going to breed her to one of her grandsons. Probably, I might do it in the winter just to have some pups in the house.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be a big deal. As long as, I got a heater I got an insulated doghouse with a heater in it, so I can put them in it with a flap on the door and know that they ain't gonna be too cold.
Yeah.
Mainly water and
food. Is it still cold out there?
No, no, no. I'm talking about if I do a breeding this winter.
Oh,
No, it's not. Actually, it did get a little bit of a cooler snap. It has
yeah.
for about the last 3 days, 4 days, been a lot cooler. Like I'm wearing a
Hmm.
hoodie right now, and
Yeah,
sitting on my porch. But no, it ain't too cold right now. It does stay
yeah.
colder here a lot longer than other places. It seemed like this year.
Uh-huh.
It was cold all the way up until March. It
Yeah.
was freezing cold here, and then all of a sudden it was just warm. Thank God. I was okay. Here, I'll put it this way: I was so sick of being cold, I was angry.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah.
live in Alaska or nothing. I was angry. I'm like, when is this shit gonna be over? Like, I'm ready for it to be warm because I'm tired of being freezing.
Yeah.
I hate being cold, but I don't. I mean, I'm not real bad. Like I can handle cold better than most people. But man, to a certain point, like I was sick of hurting my hands.
Yeah.
I'd hurt my hands all the time in the cold. God.
Hmm.
So, because I mean, I use my hands a lot up here. So I wear gloves in the wintertime and it still hurt my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like variety and types, like I love that. Like people's got to have their opinions, and that's what makes us different. Even them old dogmen back in the day, man, they all had their own different opinion. Each one. That's what makes them special. That's what makes Pat Patrick Pat Patrick. That's what makes Fat Bill Fat Bill. Like we'll say, I mean, I'm just naming names. Tom. Like
Yeah.
that's what makes them who they are. Don Mayfield, Earl Tudor. Like that's what the Henry dogs like that made them unique. I'm gonna do a
Hmm.
breakdown here soon of the importance of like OFRN, Henry, Colby, Leitner, them old school bloodlines of dogs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break them down and do a little bit of a detailed analysis on that and some of the
Yeah.
individuals. I'm gonna make a video. I'm about to buy some more storage. My storage is full. That's why I can't send no videos or nothing. So I'm about to buy them.
Well, Google
I've already
Photos.
got a gig. Yeah, I've already got a gigabyte.
Yeah.
I'm gonna up it to 2 and just be able to double what I got now. That'd be fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if I should let me. So like I'm thinking about. We'll talk about that later because I
What?
have 2 options.
Oh.
So should I buy
Uh,
more space in my cloud and just store all the pictures I got in my cloud and erase them off my phone, or should I just buy more storage on my phone?
Google Photos.
Yeah.
Google
Okay.
Photos. Google Photos is universal.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you can have that weak ass iOS, or you can
Uh-huh.
you can get down with the Android. No matter the length of your video, the amount of pictures, I think you can send up to 1,000 pictures at a time, all HD. Also, same thing with the videos. Shoot, I've sent you 3 hours worth of stuff.
Yeah, I think
You
so.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's all in HD, whatever you recorded at. So you would have because and then it automatically takes your pictures and puts it on Google Photos.
Yeah.
When it does that, it downloads it to the cloud, and then all you do is create a link and send it,
Mhm.
and you good to go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm still learning on the technology stuff. I'm young, but my buddy Killian, he's always been my techno guy. You know what I mean? He always knows about all that stuff.
Yeah,
He knew
yeah,
when we were kids, bro. He knew the PSP was gonna come out like 2 years before it did. Like all this shit. So
mhm,
like, he's always been
yeah,
on top of that stuff.
yeah.
My first YouTube video that got over like 14,000 views, he made it,
Hmm.
and that was a lot. It was literally my first YouTube video on the channel.
Yeah.
No, my second. I had one little short video of me walking Mason, actually,
Yeah.
for our test. We were just practicing camera angles and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've been learning, trying to catch up on all the editing and figure out all that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh,
Sit down.
Yeah, I'm excited for this May show though. Like, I put in some work with Jarvis. He's in good shape.
So, brother,
He's in real good shape.
yeah.
Cause like when I first got him, he was 64 pounds, and I
Yeah.
got him down to 40. So he was
Yeah.
overweight. He was mad overweight. But I mean, that's condition weight. I would never run him at 40 for like a long distance, like a long time period.
Yeah.
That's his condition weight. That's about as low as I'd want to get him.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's a big frame dog. He ain't a small dog.
Yeah.
Like when I put him on there and he was 40, I was like, whoa! I thought he was gonna be like 42.
Yeah.
So I was
Shake
like,
him,
holy
girl.
crap! Because I haven't weighed him the whole time. I will say that I have not weighed him the whole time.
Yeah.
I was just working him based on what I was doing.
Shake him. Good girl.
A lot of people, like I do agree with you. A lot of people don't understand that if you do the work, the numbers follow suit. The numbers you ain't even really got to worry about. They will come along with the work.
Shake him, girl. Good girl.
You got her on the spring pole?
Nah, just doing this. She's just been laying down this whole time, man, chilling.
Yeah.
Get a little blood flowing. I ain't sometimes just have fun with your dog.
Yep. So you gonna start entering too if Dre does?
What? I mean, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. It don't matter. I'm in it for whatever. You know.
I think y'all should,
with
especially
nothing.
if it's like poll vote. I don't see why not. Hell, the crowd's voting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
If Dre wins, we're gonna blame it on popularity. No, I'm just
kidding. Yeah.
Nah. I mean, Dre puts in that work though. Like I'm telling you, people don't understand the mad respect I have for Dre.
Yeah.
Like that is my brother, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I don't know, like we have a lot in common as far as just like growing up and stuff, like where we grew up at. So
yeah. I
always thought that was cool. Like that was one of the things that when I first started watching his channel, I was like, heck yeah, he's from Carolina. Like that's cool. And, like, out there seeing the world in the military, like that's sick.
Yeah.
And then like I have mad respect for him as a producer. Dre, a producer, a proven producer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man.
They talking about dogs.
Yeah.
I wish old Big C would come on here one day, man.
He probably will.
People would like to hear him talk. I don't know if he knows it, but now he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, people would like to hear him talk. Shit, I enjoyed sitting there talking to him. You still got to hit me up to come up for that cookout, bro.
Yeah.
I might start having like a little annual cookout every year for some dogmen in my house.
Yeah.
Just all
out there in the country.
Yeah, all get together. I'm gonna fix the bottom of my driveway so like we could have like a miniature dog show right down there.
You know? Good girl. Yeah.
With people that are invited, like I don't know. I'd like to do it. They used to do stuff like that all the time. This dogmen get together, like we could have the meal, run the dogs on the meal. You know, ain't even gotta be competitive. It could just be a good time.
Yeah.
As far as my cookout, I just want it to be chill. Maybe get some people to kill us a bear and some other meat to have.
I ain't eating no bear meat. You had that one.
Eat it, but I mean, other people might want it. Yeah,
good for them. Y'all go eat. You tell me what that bear meat tastes like. Get you some of that bear chili. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's an old cowboy recipe. I ain't fooling with it.
Explain it. It's dark and greasy. That's the best way to explain it. Dark, tasteful, and greasy.
Yeah.
Which, okay, if you eat turkey, which one do you prefer, the dark meat or the white meat?
Both.
Yeah, I'm a dark meat guy, man. Woo.
Yeah.
I love it. Every Thanksgiving, both families saves me the dark meat.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm a turkey leg guy too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I don't know, like I don't know. We can make I would like to make a menu. You know, kind of get around what people would like to eat, and
Yeah.
you know, throw down something good. That way, you eat fish though, don't you?
Yep. Sure
You eat
do.
deep fried. You eat deep fried fish
I
with
don't
no
do the
bones
deep.
in it.
Not often. I try to stay away from fried food,
Okay, well, I
especially
mean,
right now.
if you come up, I'll smoke you some trout specifically. There you go.
Right. Yeah,
That way,
yeah. I do.
we put your favorite seasoning on it. We'll catch it from
Right.
the streams here. Like that's what I'd like it to be. Like us get like the wild game cookout, like we eat. You know, bear
Yeah.
meat. I
The
probably get
only
some
thing.
elk.
Yeah. Well, saying bear burgers better than beef.
Yeah,
The only reason why I don't fool with bear burgers, I would believe that, because they very greasy. But
yeah,
I don't fool with bear meat is because bear is one of those meats. You can look it up where you can freeze it, you
yeah,
can burn, you can do all types of stuff, smoke it, and the worms will still live.
yeah. So the
So you
bear
know what I'm
hunters
saying?
I know around here, they worm
Yeah,
the bear.
yeah,
They do. They worm the bears. They set
yeah,
out bait and stuff before they run them. That's how they know where they're going to kind of run them at. Uh,
yeah,
they'll track them on game cameras and they worm them.
yeah,
I've literally seen my papa and Floyd go out to set out the worming bait.
yeah,
It's pretty wild. Like, but I mean, like I said, I'm not sold on bear. I've never ate bear and been like, this is tremendous. But at the same time, some people might. So I'm kind of at my cookout. I just
yeah,
want to offer what everybody might want to eat. They might not like deer meat. I love deer meat.
yeah,
I mean, I'm not picky. I tried to cook a copperhead, but I
yeah,
mean, they ain't enough meat on a copperhead. I'm telling you, you couldn't scrape up enough to stick on the tip of a fork.
yeah.
They're the leanest animal I've ever seen. Now, if you're coming from down there, bro,
Yeah.
you better find somebody to kill some rattlesnakes. I'll buy them from you.
Oh shoot, we get. Well, I'm like in the breeding den
Yeah.
of our whole area right here. We in right on time. That's why I don't do no road work right now.
Would you eat that?
No,
I
I
would like
mean
to
don't
try
get
it.
it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I might try it once,
Yeah, yeah.
but I'm not.
I mean, that's
That's
all it
not something
takes.
that I'm adding to my menu.
I ordered escargot on a cruise that I went
No.
on, and it come out. My dad told me it'd be breaded and deep fried. That shit come out slimy and some nasty garlic butter. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not even trying that. You can forget that. I'm not into slimy things.
No.
That's where that's where I draw the line. If it's slimy, no, can't do it. I was born fully blind, so I don't like rice or coconut
Nope.
shavings.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of look like maggots or something. I hate that.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Let's go.
I love her drive, the way she acts. She reminds me of my mom's dog Molly when she was young.
Well, like she real chill. You see, I
Like
can
being
do.
around her.
Yeah, she a house dog when she need to be a house dog.
Uh-huh.
You seen her in public. She a bulldog when she need to be a bulldog.
Can you make your screen bigger?
Uh,
That
let me
people's
see.
asking to make your screen bigger so they can see her. Big C compliments a big C.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, see that? I'm telling you, she reminds me so much of my mom's dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I love the way she acts.
Out.
It
Yeah.
was really cool seeing her and Saki in person. So I've not really talked
Yeah.
about that much.
Get up there. Sit.
I'll probably cook up a
Down.
little bit on that tomorrow, talking about seeing
Sit.
her in person. And then you can cook up a little bit about seeing Mason in person.
Lay down. Sit. Down. Get your butt up there.
Funny how she don't mind that either.
Nah, she
The thing
good.
that wiggles.
Yeah. No, that's for a balance. I'll do that. I
Yeah,
like that. That's good for their balance, man. Lay down.
yeah, yeah. She'd be solid on her feet.
No, no.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah.
That's how Jarvis is. This summer, I'm really harnessing like through this keep. Like the next, after we do this dog show, I'll have all
Yeah.
of the month of June, and then July, I'm gonna put him in like a 4 week keep because he'll already be in some kind of some decent shape. So
Shake him.
that month,
Good
I'm gonna
girl.
focus on the online obedience challenge and see if I can't get it where me and Jarvis can complete the online obedience challenge.
Shake it, girl. Good
He's really
girl.
well trained. I obedience trained him for that old man, Lester.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and see if I can't complete the obedience challenge with him.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, man. Step out your comfort zone.
Yeah, I mean, well, like
Mhm.
when I first got into dogs, I was into dog training.
Yeah.
I was really big into dog training. That was my whole interest, but it slowly shifted. I've always loved the breedings. Loved putting dogs together. That's what my dad
Yeah.
got me interested in at first. So that's just my thing. I love building dogs for other people to take and do great shit with.
Out.
And I don't
Good
even care
girl.
about but what are you whining about?
Get up there. Come. Sit.
SBC
Stay.
said that's a good looking and acting bulldog.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. All goes. It all goes to Dre and Patsy Kennels, man. Like, I got a good dog, I'm showcasing the skill as a handler that I have, but I gotta give it all to really the bloodline, the good breed. The damn dog make you look better. You know what I'm saying? You get a good dog down there, look, you know what I'm saying? But nah, it's a good dog, man. And she free range. She ain't been in the kennel since she was like 5 months, 4 months. Don't Never had an accident in the last 3-4 years in the house, other than might throw up if she had, she man.
I think that's just from them getting worked up from being alone.
No, I'm talking about like, and I'm saying, and you would think that she don't got it in her, man. These two stray dogs ran up on me at the park 2 days ago over the weekend. Man, god dog, man. She ran them straight up, man. Look, I swear she if she had grabbed one, I would have did my best to hold on to the leash and have my camera record every last bit of it. And I hope she killed that damn dog. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the dog is off leash. My dog got shots. You know what I'm saying? I'm just running around this bad boy and aggressive. And they was gonna jump her.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And she acting fool, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, she laying down right now. But if I tell her get on the slab mill, she acting fool. Come on, let's go. You want to work? Let's go work. Come on.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go. And see, the thing is, hold on, wait a minute, girl. Because the thing is, like, she get up there and she gets so excited, she gonna try and bite my ass.
I'm about to buy me one of them.
Yeah. Can you see her?
So I can have it in my house. Yeah, we can see her good.
Yeah. All right, now watch. She gonna try. Let's go.
Seems to be pretty quiet too. I can't tell, but
yeah. And then watch it. Whoa, 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 hey, whoa, whoa. You know what I'm saying? We be working on that all the time. Come on. Oh, crazy dog. Get your butt down. Come on. Let's go. Yeah.
We at the hour mark. Or 2 hour mark.
Yeah.
Sorry. We at the 2 hour mark.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate
Hey, but
everybody that
y'all,
come through in the
hey,
comments.
hey, everybody that's on the list for one of them old yellow dogs, man, is
Uh-huh.
you gonna get something similar to it. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Oh shit. Yeah, I guess my phone cut off, man. Died on me.
Probably.
Yeah,
Shit,
yeah,
I'm looking forward. Hopefully, I can get one if there's enough.
yeah. The
Yep, I'm
box
gonna.
stand, bro. Let me see. It is Titan Titan
Mhm.
Fitness. Yeah, man.
What would you
Yeah.
call it? A balance box or?
No, it's really for humans. It's a jump box for
Oh,
humans.
okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But
So
it's
Titan
soft.
Fitness jump box.
Yeah, it's soft material. So you could take that and go in your yard with it. You could take that and you know what I'm saying. You could it's a whole bunch of stuff you could do with it. It's mobile. You can take it where you want to. It's a good jump box. You see, she lay on it, all that, man. So it's good. You can wash it off, all that. So yeah,
Do you
yeah.
use one of them like low to the ground beds like Dre uses?
Are you talking about a Corunda?
I guess
Yeah,
so. Yeah, look like a dog
yeah,
handle.
yeah. I got one sitting right here, but I
Yeah, I
haven't
got one.
used it. I haven't used it since she was a pup. Yeah.
I got a lot of stuff planned.
Uh,
I still got some property to clear up here. Like I'm gonna start doing some dog training.
yeah,
Like
man.
I've been
That'd
so
be
fucking
good.
busy, dude. Like I still got to
Hmm.
finish the back of my house. Like I moved when I
Yeah.
didn't expect I had to. Uh,
Hmm.
that flood destroyed my dog yard. It did way worse than
Yeah.
what I thought it was gonna do. So I
Yeah.
had to move. You know what I mean? Like within a week's time, like I was at my house chilling, feeding the dogs one day. The next day it flooded, and a week later I was up here.
Yeah.
It has been a struggle bus since.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But yeah,
Man. Yeah, man. And that's man, hey, y'all boys that are on that list for them old yellows, man. Man, I think you guys would be satisfied, man. I do. Yeah, man. But elevated, man. Yeah, man. We got to roll up out of here, man. We got men at work coming
yep.
up next, man. Yeah,
Time to
yeah.
clock in.
It was a good show, elevated.
Ain't a member.
Uh,
What are you doing at the dollar?
Yeah, and like I say, elevated man, like we ain't got to agree. We don't
Yeah.
got to agree.
Nope.
It ain't no hate. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to feel like I'm jabbing at you or anything. It's just people like what they like, man, and they like to stick to what they stick to. And I know for a fact that what you doing is what you believe in. I know for a fact that's your vision. Nobody can see your vision at the end of the day except for you. They can only see the finished product, and you got people that fool with you that really like your product. So don't take it as no slight, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that because it ain't coming from that. You know what I'm saying? That spot. You know, it's all good, man. Because like I say, man, shoot, 15 pups on the ground and you got 3 left,
I got
man.
20 pups on the ground, and
Yeah, no, boy.
yeah, I got like 4 or 5 left, 3 or 4.
Woo, yeah, man.
I
That
got
boy
lists
making
of all of
moves.
them wrote down and
And
which
that's
one they got and if they want their ears
yeah.
cropped or not.
And that's
Uh,
what I'm saying. I wouldn't give a damn what anybody said about me. You ain't moving it. I mean, I don't have a problem moving these. So there's that. But like I say, man, people like what they like. I like what I like, and I stick to the script. But man, ain't no telling, man. You you might be setting the standard for your own thing in the future, like big time. You know what I'm saying?
that's what
No
I'm trying to
telling.
do. At
Yeah,
least my bloodline. That's why I named it. That's why I call it its own thing.
yeah.
In the future, when people said that name, I'm 100% responsible for it.
Hmm. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, y'all know what it is, man. We about to
Master
what's
Black
up?
Bulldog said, "Are you putting it in the right hands or just moving them? Don't care about the price. Don't care about who you give it to. Yeah, come to me and try to buy a dog and see what I
Oh,
tell you.
hey, Master, all Bulldogs, check this out, man. I can't remember what episode it is, man. I think it was a couple of episodes back, bro. He went through his whole what was your thing? What's the thing that you gotta go through? The
What the
they stuff
breeding,
that yeah. Yeah,
biosimilars?
he go through
Yeah.
that whole thing, man. You know what I'm saying? So you if you looking at that, you'll see he you know he got a
These are
certain
these are dogs
level
passed down from my grandma. If you think a dollar means shit to me, then you got another thing coming. So
from his
I'm
grandmother to his father and his mother, and you know what I'm
then
saying?
to me, yeah. So you ain't,
And
like I said, a dollar don't mean shit to me. Ask anybody
yeah,
that knows me.
yeah, man. But you know what it is, man. We about to get up out of here, man. Appreciate y'all kicking it with us, man. We will be back tomorrow, man. But
Yes,
until
sir.
then, man, we going to go clock in for men at work. You know what it is, man. Yes, sir. And we out.
Yeah.